We ready.
Okay, welcome back with Rolling with Ken and Ed. My wife brought up a topic.
Well, first, babe, can you tell them where we're headed to?
Actually, we're headed to her eye appointment just morning. But she sparked an interesting conversation the other day that I'd like to elaborate on. And it's around people. And we was just talking about how people have changed. You know, people are not family oriented anymore. People seem to not be as close. But it's in the scriptures. It said people will be more lovers of themselves in the last days. So it's not ironic that, you know, things are happening the way they are in the situations that's at hand. And so we started conversating about,
Okay.
and I think most people don't think about, you know, somebody goes to the hospital every day like a job to see a loved one. Most people don't think, you know, like you were saying, now that you see people in a wheelchair, you wonder, do they have a good caretaker? You know, how do they use the bathroom? How do they eat? You know, who feeds them? How do they wash dishes? How do they do their day-to-day activity or function in life?
Right.
And I think most people don't stop and just think, you know, about situations like that. You know,
No.
most people just go on and just, you know, life until something hits them, and then it's when it's like, oh, you know, it's life altering to the point where, you know, now they have more compassion and, you know, they think about people, because when you're in your own world, you only think about what you got to deal with day to day and, you know, right, what's at hand. You know, most people don't ponder on, you know, what if I go blind? You know, when you prompted the conversation, it made me think about Jamie Foxx when he played Ray Charles, and the man came in the room and he was like, why you ain't got on the light? And he was like, I don't need to have a light on, I'm blind. And, you know, most people don't think, you know, he was frying chicken at the time, and it was like, you know, why do he need a light? He can't see anyway.
Right.
And I think most people don't stop and think, you know, what if I went blind? You know, how would I, you know, function? Or,
right.
you know, he had to play the role.
Fix your shirt, baby.
He had to play the role of Ray Charles, so he got to see, you know, walking around with his hands out, like, you know, I'm blind, you know. But I just think most people don't stop and think, what if I get into an accident and my life is altered, you know, and I'm in a wheelchair? Or what if I fall down the steps? Or what if I just fall out the shower and something happens to me that's life altering? And I really just think people don't consider, you know, what other people have to go through on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
That, you know, life can change drastically,
like it did for us.
And, you know, when you're in your own world, you don't really consider, you know, what people go through. You know, like me going to the hospital, you know, for like 9 months, 10 months, you know, it's people that's a lifestyle. They go to the hospital every single day, and like a job, you know, they get off and they go to the hospital to see a loved one, you know. And I think, like, a lot of people think it's like for the old people, you know, maybe when I get 90 or 70, you know, that can happen to me. So, you know, a lot of people don't think, you know, oh, this can never happen to me, or maybe when I'm 70, maybe when I hit 80 or 90, you know, people think like that. But I don't think people consider, you know, that, you know, things could happen that could change their lives for the worse, you know.
Right.
And you know, I was just thinking, you know, when you said that, you know, people don't think about, you know, how do you go to the bathroom? How do you dress yourself? You know, how do you brush your teeth? You know, we take things that may be minute or so small, you know, that could be humongous now, you know, when life changes, or you know, God forbid that, you know, I hope nobody's life never changes in a way that could, you know, make them have to have a life altering lifestyle. So
all right, so you heard my husband speak. We are on the road, just coming back from getting my eyes. I got plugs in my eyes, so my eyes probably look pretty funny right now. I'll show you a close-up another day because they're probably just a little too weird looking right now to show anybody what it looks like once they put the plugs in to keep your good tears in. I suffer from really, really dry eyes from getting the Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is an autoimmune, and I was already dealing with another autoimmune, psoriatic arthritis. So with those two combined, my eyes just stay terribly dry. So they put plugs in to keep my tears in so that my eyes can try to stay moist. But you heard it from my husband. He doesn't get to speak as much as he would like to. Most of the time he's the one filming. So the crappy filming that you just saw was me. I'm sorry, I know my fingers were in the way. I kept moving my hands. I didn't actually have my device that I normally use to do our recording. If you're looking, it is me without makeup. So yeah, you're getting to see all the imperfections in my skin, the bumps and the dark marks and stuff. That is all coming from inflammation. So I'm going to start working even better on my diet to control this inflammation, which I was doing at one point. Don't get me wrong. I lost a tremendous amount of weight, eating healthier and stuff. But then, being honest, certain foods just don't taste as good. Then not being able to eat for quite some time, in and out of the hospital from throwing up and stuff. You know, when I got home, I just wanted to eat what I wanted to eat. But yeah, I'm paying for it. So I'm definitely going to get back on a better diet that will help with all this inflammation. I'm breathing a little weird because I just feel stuffy up in my nose area. But I just wanted to give you guys, from his point of view, some of the things he wanted to share on a topic that we talked about. You know, just when you're going through health challenges, sometimes it makes you reflect on things that you probably didn't reflect on before. Because you're now living it and going through it. It gives you much more compassion and consideration for others. Like I said, I have a deep and greater, more profound love for those who are dealing with a disability, whether it be temporary or permanent. In my case, they say it's temporary. I know it is, but it's been almost a year of not walking. So that's challenging. And almost about 2 years with all this acne and things like that, and different aches and pains from all the inflammation, and dealing now with the neuropathy that came about from the Guillain-Barré.